Welcome one and all to the British Grand Prix. We are here at Silverstone, the famous place which used to be a air Warcraft zone, if I am actually not mistaken. So we are here at Silverstone, obviously, in my opinion, the best circuit for full-on racing, and we have got a lot of action ready to to expect to deal with. Squidlord, hello Squidlord, and I'm going to quickly turn my game audio off through my headsets so I can hear myself think. You'll still be able to hear game audio, I won't through my headset. So Squidlord, welcome in to the Twitch. We're here at Silverstone, obviously a 5.891 kilometre circuit. First Grand Prix, obviously held around in 1950, and we have a spinner already on the exit of the pit lane. BRL Ritzy has spun out of pit lane, and that ain't the start that you want, really, for a British Grand Prix race weekend. The Aston Martin has spun. Jackham SF1, welcome in. So we're here for the British Grand Prix, obviously 5.8 kilometre length. Our first Grand Prix held in 1950. Because we raced 50%, the race distance we'll be covering is 153.099 kilometres. So in the, there's been 4 British Grand Prix in the WHF history. Obviously, we've had SSR before WHF became a thing, but just through the WHF history, we have had what do you say here? We've had 4 British Grand Prix in the 4 previous seasons. We had Ritzy again, spinning again through Copse Corner. So we've had 4 British Grand Prix through in the WHF history. This is the 5th one. 3 of the 4 last British Grand Prix have been won from pole. Season 1, Cookie took pole and took the win. Season 2, Cloud took the win and took so season 1 Cookie took the win and took pole. Season 2, Cloud took pole and took the win. Season 3, Cookie took pole and took the win. Season 4, Cookie took pole, but then that was the first time that someone had not taken the win. That was Ice Cream after a collision in, I believe, the penultimate lap around this corner we're watching Ritzy with now. At the Vale on Club Chicane, Cookie and Arrow, I believe, locked tyres and went off into the gravel, which you can see on the outskirts of the track there. I actually do think that we have got a McLaren up first, so we've got Diori making his way through the turn number 4, through the loop, and then we're going to go flat out through Aintree down the Wellington Straight. Just to remind you, the championship standings, Cookie leads that by a country mile. 35 points clear ahead of Star in P2. Cookie on 149 points, and then Star on 114. And Star is a country mile ahead of P3. And then in P3 is Nisev with 69 points, along with Arrow as well, the reigning champion, on 69 points. JG in P5 on 64 points. Then in P6 you've got Biox Kings on 60 points. So the battle for P3, very, very close, you know. And then the constructors, Red Bull lead that by 83 points. Red Bull on 200 points exactly. Sauber on 117. Ferrari, I believe, reigning constructor champions, on 96 points. And then Haas on 76 points. Pole sitters this season, Cookie's got 3, Japan, Hungary and Austria. Star's got 2 in Miami and Monza. And then Niall, who is making a rare appearance, I believe, in this race. Yeah, you can see in the V Cup on the intermediates, has got 1 pole, and that was at the season opener in Bahrain. He's watching Tori through the Club and Vale chicane, out of the final corner, out flat through turn 18, flat through Club, and it's a 28.721. Next up will be, I think it'll actually be a V Cup, but we're going to watch Ritzy here. Out of the final corner we go with the Aston Martin. He has actually invalidated his time. So who can we watch next? His Oven Chips has just gone fastest overall in the Haas. Let's watch Jamie Dwyer on medium compound tyres over the line. Goes P3 with a 30.5. And then what can Himmy Dime do in the Scuderia Ferrari? Crossing the line now, takes the original pole with a 26.797. What about JG Gordon over the line? It is probably a double warm-up lap as the Williams of Michael Louise, one of the championship contenders last season in Tier 2, goes P3 with a 26.852. What can Jack in the other Chrome McLaren do? Crossing the line now and goes for original pole with a 26.227. And then that'll be Kevin Cow over the line into P4 as Star is on to provisional pole position. He's got 2 poles this season so far. Can he make it free. And the all-dominant man this season so far, what can Cookie do? He has actually invalidated, so I believe he's actually going to go and push on once more. And then next up will be, I believe, the reigning champion, WH Arrow, has again invalidated his tires. Another one showing for track limits so far in this current qualifying session. Nisev will be up next. No, it'll be Niall in the intermediate compound of tyres. Will it be Ritzy up next? It will be a Ritzy. We'll go on board with the Green Machine at their home race through the Vale and Club chicane. The car just rolling on and raking through there, and out of 17 and out of the final corner we go with the Aston Martin crossing the line. It's a 29.187 into the top 9. Next up will be, oh, how am I going to say that name? Dino Iron Saber. Oh, that's easy. Right, we'll just go with Dino. Dino crosses the line, goes into the top 7. SSR Halo will be up next, and he can go into the top 3. And then there's a Haas crossing the line of Gordon that time around, and he gets a valid lap this time and goes into the top 4 with a 26.525, only 8 milliseconds behind SSR Halo. So, who will be up next then, as we are just watching the laps go on? Let's watch Godzilla, I believe, going through Maggots and Beckett. I will quickly switch if I see anyone else. I actually think like that might be Cookie, who is on the lap. The man with 3 poles to his name so far in Japan, in Hungary, and Austria. Pardon me. Through the Vale and Club chicane for the final time. Out of the final corner we go with the man who got pole in 3 of the last 4. Crosses the line. Provisional pole by just under 0.3 of a second. A 25.483. Those times are coming down, especially since the update, as Godzilla goes P13 and Arrow goes into the top 10. Ever since the update, we've got the softer compounds here. So we are running, I believe, with the C6s, I believe, around this British Grand Prix circuit. Who will be up next? Will it be Fori? No, it will not. So we just continue to watch on. Could it be Ritzy again, maybe? No, he's going to go for a double lap. So I believe this is actually going to be, let's actually watch Mallard maybe, as Mallard is making his way towards turn number 3 of Village, and then he will go towards the loop with this Silver Arrow, who got Silver Arrows. They got a front row lockout in 2024. Obviously struggled this season at the real life British Grand Prix. Down the Wellington, straight down towards the Brooklands and Luffield complex. Well, no, actually, probably one of the hardest sections on this race. You can take so many different lines here. You don't actually know what the correct line is. Oh, Luffield on the exit, get on the power. On the exit of Luffield, then we're going to go flat through Woodcote, and then we'll go down towards Cops Corner here. You can just look at the dash there. 313 kilometers now. We go through Cops Corner, and now we go towards Maggots and Beckett. There's a slow Ferrari, I believe, of WHF Arrow, who is getting out of the way. Mallard through Maggots, and then through Beckett, and then through turn 13, and then that will lead you on to Chapel. Now down the Hanger Straight, he has actually invalidated his lap time. So I'll tell you who we'll go to. The other Silver Arrow of Ollie, a former champion. Obviously, he won a championship in WHF before, as he makes his way down the Hanger Straight, down towards Stowe Corner, down towards turn number 15 of the British Grand Prix racetrack around here at Silverstone. Obviously, this track has predominantly held the British Grand Prix. Had Brands Hatch a couple of times, but through the Vale and then Club, round the final corner we go with Ollie JL77 in the Mercedes crossing the line. It's P13 with a 27.340, almost 2 seconds adrift there from the pole time. And then who will be up next? I believe that's going to be Ritzy as he goes over the line to go for another lap. How much fuel has this bloke got in his car? Who then will be up next, ladies and gentlemen? If you could help me figure this one out, that would be greatly appreciated, because I am completely lost right now. I'm trying to see, it could be the House of Oven Chips, or is that him just starting the lap? It's him just starting the lap there. It's Kevin Cow. He's on the out lap making his way through Stowe. There's a McLaren of Jack M. Well, both McLarens on out laps. There's a V Cub actually on the left, so I think it's actually going to be Nisev, who the game says is set a purple sector. Nisev's got 2 race wins this season in Hungary and Monza. Obviously, no pole positions yet for the V-Car driver to go through Stowe Corner, and no, not Stowe, through Cops Corner, sorry, and then down towards Maggots and Stay on board with him to see what it's like being on board with a driver through this complex of corners. Maggots Beckett, and then we'll go flat through Chapel. It's going to be a little bit, might get a little bit of a tow there by the Mercedes. We'll have to get out of the way as we go towards Stowe Corner. We're going to go off board now. See if this Mercedes. No, we'll keep on board. I'm changing my mind again. Well, that Mercedes, we're giving them dirt. Yeah, through the whole Stowe Corner. Very tight to the track limits there as we go towards Vale and Club Chicane for his first timed lap. Hasn't invalidated this time around. Out of the final corner we go. It was Nisev crossing the line. And it's onto the front row there. At 0.103 from pole position. Ritzy again, just driving around for the sake of it, just having a bit of fun. Who will be up next? Will it be Dimmy then in the Ferrari? He's actually 3/10 of a second up, looking to challenge for pole. The Scarlet Ferrari to the line. Goes up to the top 4 there with a 26.178. Young Himmy Dime into the top 4 there. Oven Chips now making his way. Actually finishes that, my bad. There's a 26.938 then. So it'll be the Red Bull up next, I'm going to guess, of Kevin Cow making his way to the final chicane. He decides to actually come into pit lane. So who will be up next? Salvers on that. So what about the McLarens there? What about Jack? Jack making his way towards the final chicane. You can see, look at the top right, 2 tenths down at the middle sector split. We'll go on board with him around the final corner, sliding that McLaren through the final corner, run over the line. Doesn't improve his time, 4 tenths from his current best time. And next time will actually be Dino in the Alpine. No, it won't be. It won't be Dino. It will be Womax in the other Alpine as he dives into the pit. So, is it Niall up next who has actually invalidated his time? It will not be Niall up next. It might be Arrow, who is on a outlap as well. But the other Sauber of Godzilla there. It's not Godzilla. It is that start on a outlap. So we could maybe then go to Jack in the McLaren. I can't get anyone right. Tori will be up next in the McLaren. He's on a slower lap. Then we'll be Ritzy again. Hello again, Ritzy. We always tend to catch him around this final section of corners. Dino Iron Saber out of the final corner for the French outfit. The Alpine team looking for an improvement and improve up into the top 8 there. Next up will be the Haas team. It will be Gordon actually in the Haas out of the final corner. Where can Gordon put his Haas over the line? Goes into the top 6 there. Improves his time by just around 2 tenths of a second. Next up will be the Williams, I believe, and Michael Louise. No one, but it'll be his teammate of SSR Halo. He's just under 3 tenths of a second up on his time. Over the line, goes into the top 4. Next up will it be Star? No, it won't. It'll be Godzilla there. Godzilla crossing the line, goes into the top 14. Then the other Williams, Michael Louise, into the top 8 there. And then it'll be the McLaren of Jack. I want to say, no, he's going slower. It'll probably be F1 Mallard up next as he makes his way down towards Stowe Corner on board with the Mercedes there. Through Stowe Corner, he's got a V-Cub very, very close to him. That could actually be Niall. It is Niall, so we'll keep on board with Niall. We can watch them both at the same time, actually. You see the Mercedes there. You see the V-Cub there. Over the line, Mallard, 16th. And Niall into the top 3 with a 25.625. Arrow over the line next. Into the top 9 with a 26.452. Next up will be the Aston Martin. And you bet you can guess who it is again. It's Ritzy once again. And he finally dives into pit lane. So maybe he's getting some extra laps on the borders. Once again, we see him have another bit of a spin. And then who will be up next? It will not be Gordon. It might be Star. No, it won't be Star. He is in pit lane. So we wait to look. It might be Kevin Cow, who is on his outlap, maybe going for a final run early on to try and avoid the traffic. Will it be Michael Louise making his way down to Stowe Corner? No, it will not. SSR Halo, we know, just finished his lap as well. So he will dive into the box as well, taking a bit of a scenic route into the box. So I actually do think it will be Kevin Cow up next. He'll be the first one to go. So I'm going to take a quick drink as we're watching him come to the end of his outlap. So, final runs in qualifying. Are we going to get a first-time pole sitter in this season? Cookie, Star and Niall are the only drivers to have been on pole position this season so far. Towards Village we go. We go through Village and then we go towards the loop with the Red Bull driver. His teammate currently sat on pole position. Kevin, 1 over a second from his teammate. His teammate actually on that outlap already, so could they work a bit of a toe down the hangar straight? 2 tenths up already for Kevin Cow, making his way through Brooklands. And then Luffield awaits the Red Bull driver, and then it will be Woodcote, which is flat out, and then down towards the infamous Cops Corner. Remember back all those years in 2021, Hamilton and Verstappen crashing in Cops Corner. Going through Cops Corner now, the Red Bulls fling that car through, and then 50% battery left as he makes his way towards Maggots and then Beckett through the DRS detection zone. Well, is Desi not needed in qualifying, as you get DRS nonetheless, considering how far you are from the car. At the end of the middle sector we go with Kevin, and he is 3 tenths of a second down. And I actually think he's going to come into the pit lane, maybe, because I don't think he's got the fuel or the battery, really, to be able to go again. So, we look next to, I believe, the other Red Bull. We look to Cookie as he goes through Farm Curve, and then towards Village we go with the championship leader and the 2-time WHF World Champion. 3 poles to his name, 4 wins to his name this season, 2 World Championships to his name, as he makes his way down towards the Brooklands corner. How much is he up? He is 8 tenths of a second down. Didn't actually notice he wasn't using battery there. My apologies. So, everyone's still on outlaps. So, who's going to be up next? I think it might actually be Oven Chips. So, both Red Bulls, let's say they're on laps, but obviously we saw Kevin had backed out of it. And I think Kevin's actually in the pit. So, no, it'll be Woman X up next as he makes his way out of Aintree, I believe, and then down the Wellington Straight, down towards Brooklands Corner. Woman X is going to be our first final run, but he's not pushing on as well. I can't seem to catch someone. Oven Chips then, we'll go with you, sir, through the loop, and then flat through Aintree awaits. Turn number 5 of this Silverstone circuit away. Flat through Aintree, DRS enabled. That rear wing opening, and not a lot of battery to play with there for Oven Chips as he makes his way towards the end of the first sector. 800ths of a second down on his personal best time. 3rd gear to 4th gear, down to 2nd gear, and then we accelerate and then get on the throttle on the exit of Luffield. Then we'll go flat through Woodcote down towards Cops Corner. It will be Oven Chips, and then will it be the Aston Martin of Ritzy? Jamie Dwyer is in pit lane. So Jamie Dwyer and Kevin Cow, that's done. Kevin's P13 and Jamie Dwyer is last on the grid. So, at least for Ritzy, he can't start last on the grid for this British Grand Prix. Oven Chip will fling it through Beckett, and then we'll go flat through Chapel. And towards the middle sector split, he is 2 tenths of a second up, looking maybe for around P12, P10 at this current moment in time. Down the hangar straight, and now we go towards Stoke Corner. There's going to be a car park awaiting him as he makes his way towards the Vale and Cobb chicane. Maybe some impeding about to happen here as we go through the final chicane. There's his teammate in the way, and the teammate almost impedes him there as we go 13 seconds left on the clock. Oven Chips out at the final corner and crossing the line, and he improves his time, doesn't improve position. Next up will be Ritzy, who has invalidated his time. That's all he can do. Will it be WHF Arrow next? No, he has just started his lap, so it'll be Himmy Dime up next. He is 2 tenths of a second up, making his way through Stoke Corner. Not a lot of battery left, but you don't need a lot of battery through here. Through Vale and Club chicane for the final time. Himmy Dime looking to get into the top 3, crosses the line now and goes into the top 5. Next up will be Fori in the McLaren there as he gets his way through the final chicane. Then it will be Cookie up next. Fori will cross the line, and he will now cross the line now and go only 18th. Cookie over the line to extended advantage, which he doesn't. He has a major mistake as Nisev takes it away with a 25.1 over to Star onto the front row there. SSR Halo will be up next. Michael Louise will be up next, and he goes into the top 9 there. Then it's going to be Jack in the McLaren sliding out the final corner. So we are going to look towards, I don't actually know who to look towards. We're going to have a look at there was someone in the wall there as Woman X crosses the line, goes into the top 12. And then what about Niall? Can he snatch it away from his teammate to make it a VCAR 1-2 over the line? Now Niall into the top 3 there. Demotes Cookie down the 4th. Nisev at the moment, it's looking good, boy, for his first ever pole. Gordon over the line now. Only P9. It's Nisev for the first time this season on pole position with a 25.167. It's his maiden pole this season, and he will be looking for his 3rd win this season. That is our 4th driver to add to the list for pole positions this season, it's Nisev in the V-Carb, the man's 3rd place in the World Championship. I do apologise if I missed anyone's like laps there. It's just a struggle to actually watch who's coming around the final corner. Like you have to guess half the time what driver it is when you see a coloured dot. So moving on to qualifying results then, ladies and gentlemen. Nisev on pole, the Norwegian is on pole position. Then it's the British driver on the front row for his home race in P2, the Frenchman Niall. He in 6th. I'm going to quickly get all quality results now, quickly. So you've got a lot of United Kingdom drivers. SSR Halo, British driver. Arrow, an Irish driver. And then you've got Jack, Gordon, Michael Louise, and then WomenX. That is your top 10. I have been booted. Fantastic. I have disconnected. That is incredible. Let's see how many times I get that. Well, Jamie, we won't be able to see that because I've disconnected. Ooh. Oh, isn't that great? Oh. Oh, never mind. So, it's a restart. We've had qualifying at least. So, we don't have to do that again. Oh, early ready up. So, the reason for the restart was because someone had readied up early. So, we have to now wait. I think that's good for us because then we can actually see the race start then. Oh no, we made Ritzy lose his Clash Royale game. Oh, the game's gone. It gives me a bit of time to doom scroll. Louis posted in 6th form. People in Twitch chat, how are you all this evening, I should say? I don't really have much time to speak to you all because we've been in the action. We lit. Mint. I need an invite as well once that is done and dusted. Good to hear that we lit. That's a new one. Add that to the words of wisdom. Well, we have received an invite, ladies and gentlemen. SSR Halo Legend. That was strange that I had disconnected. That's never happened to me when I'm commentating before. I mean, it has, but not since like F1 22 has that happened. Strange, but we back. As William X would say, we lit. So, we're lit for the race, at least. I blame the Irish internet, personally. Oh, I guess I wanna rock your body, rock your body. Go, come on, rock your body, rock your body, rock your body. Oh, come on, rock your body, rock your body. Come on, rock your body, rock your body, rock your body. Go, come on, rock your body. You can tell I'm just doom scrolling. Whenever I'm doom scrolling. Luke42088, how's it going? It's going quite well, thank you. How are you doing yourself? Just awaiting the restart for the British Grand Prix. So what this means now, everyone has infinite tyres, pretty much. All their softs they use are now brand new again, so they've got infinite soft tyres, let's put it that way, because there's no way someone's going to use 4 sets of soft tyres. Well, 3 sets, actually. So 3 sets of soft tyres surely cannot be used in a singular session. What's everyone's prediction then for the race win today? Based from history in WHF, pole is a favoured victory. 3 of the last 4 WHF races have been won from pole. The only time pole has not won the British Grand Prix in WHF was last season when Ice Cream took the win after Cookie and Arrow collided. Last season's race result, P3 was Arrow despite the collision, P2 was myself and Harris, and then in P1 was Ice Cream. Top 2 was split by just under 0.3 of a second. You commentate better than you sit. I don't think that's that hard. You cut. Do I take that as a compliment? I mean, no. I just randomly blurt out singing when I'm away and stuff. I just randomly sing. So I've wrote a lot of stuff down for no reasons. So let me go through everything I've wrote. So the strategies. Plan A, medium hard. Plan B, hard medium. Optimal window for medium hard is lap 11. Optimal window for hard medium is lap 15. Safety car windows. You pit for soft between lap 21 and 24. You pit for mediums between lap 16 to 20. And then you pit for hards between lap 5 to 15. If there's a safety car within the first 4 laps, you stay out. Tyre wear per lap 7.9% on the soft tyres, 5.7% on the medium compounder tyres, and then 4.2% on the hard compounder tyres. The Drivers' Championship standings. Cookie leads with 149 points. Star in P2 with 114 points. P3 is Nisev on the 69 points, along with Arrow in P4, also on 69 points. In P5, we've got JG, also known as Gordon, on 64 points. And then in P6, we've got Pirate Kings, who I don't actually think is here in a minute. Pirate Kings, is he here? No, he is not. Parks King is not here. He's currently P6 in the World Championship on 60 points. The Constructors Championship looks even more dominant. Red Bull lead that by 83 points. On Red Bull sat on 200 points. Sauber on 117 points. Scuderia Ferrari, the reigning Constructor Champions, P3, 96 points. P4 is Haas on 76 points as well. In WHF history, Cookie's got 24 wins, Gordon's got 6, Cloud's got 5, Raptor's got 5, Titan's got 4, Arrow, Nile, and Ice Cream have got 2. And I didn't actually write down the people who have got 1. Said you about last season's results. Obviously, Ice Cream first, myself in P2, Arrow P3. This circuit is 5.8 kilometers long. The first Grand Prix was held back in 1950. The race distance, it'll be 153.099 kilometers. And then I don't know how much I've mentioned this. 3 of the last 4 British Grand Prix in WHF was won from pole. Obviously, in Season 1, WHF, Cookie took pole and the win. Season 2, Cloud took pole and the win. Season 3, Cookie took pole and the win. And then Season 4, Cookie took pole and the win. Unfamiliar territory, really, for Cookie, not being on pole he's been on pole for the last 2, and he's been on pole for 3 of the last 4. Obviously, victorious in 2 of the last 4 as well. So, as well, at Silverstone, there's a lot of places to overtake. Obviously, race winners this season. Cookie has got 4. He's won around Bahrain, Japan, Miami, and Austria. Nisev's got 2. He won in Budapest and Monza, the Temple of Speed. Telemetry says W commentator. Thank you, sir. Around the British Grand Prix, 18 corners here. Turn 1 is, so you got turn 1, Abbey, turn 2, Farm Curve, turn 3, Village, turn 4, the Loop, turn 5, Aintree. The straight between turn 5 and turn 6 is the Wellington straight. Turn 6 is Brooklands, turn 7, Luffield, turn 8, Woodcote. The straight between turn 8 and turn 9 is the National Pit Straight. Turn 9 is Copse Corner, turn 10, Maggots, turn 11, Beckett's. Turn 12, I think you could also class as Beckett's. Without that, when I was looking it up, that wasn't actually really a name for turn 12. Turn 11 and 12, sorry, is Beckett's. Turn 13 and then 14 onto 14 is Chapel. The straight between 14 and 15 is the Hangar Straight. That is our second DRS zone. Stowe Corner is turn 15, and then turns 16, 17, and 18 is the Vale and Club Chicane. And then the straight between turn 18 and turn 1 is called the Hamilton Straight. I volunteered to yesterday. I'm annoyed I couldn't be here to reserve today, so I'm just here spectating. At least you get to watch the action and instead of being in all the stress of the action. So you actually get to just see what it's like, really. Is formation lap on? That is something I would like to know. No. Okay. Right, so no formation lap. I'm actually not used to that. So getting straight into the action. What else is there to say? Oh, here's something very crucial. Say if people are trying undercuts in this race, the time you lose in the pits, from the information I've seen from SRC, etc., 25 seconds. 25 seconds is the time you lose in pit lane. If that's including the pits, like the time you're stationary in the box, not too sure. What else could I? What else have I actually really got in here? So we are now running up. We are preparing the start of this British Grand Prix. Also, we can have a bit of time, you know, to get the setups on. So we'll have like a 2-minute delay before we get proceedings going. Obviously, the reigning champion David Jahara, I believe, lines up P9, I think, around there. So obviously the reigning champ not performing to his expectations if you're going based from last season. Who will take the win today? Will it be Cookie? Will Cookie make it 5 wins this season? Or will Nisev make it 2 wins in this season? Oh, I didn't actually write that. Nisev's got 2 wins. So, hang on, let me add that to my notes. Nisev, 2 wins in WHF history as well. So, will someone new take the top step of the podium this season? Obviously, Niall, probably one of the favourites. Probably is one of the favourites considering his pace. Obviously, I think he only raced in one event and he got pole in it, and that was in Bahrain. So, So where do we look? Where do we look next on these notes as we await someone to ready up? I think I've actually read everything out, to be honest. If Cookie wins, it will be win number 25. It will be a quarter of the way to 100 race wins in the WHF. I mean, 25 wins in a league already is impressive, as it is really. So I'm going to redeem some points because I'm bored. Redeemed emu moment. Mint. Right. So, no formation lap. The British Grand Prix awaits, let's say. Carnage. You always get a bit of carnage at Silverstone, don't you? Silverstone never disappoints you. VCarb on pole. Sauber P2, VCarb P3, and then Red Bull P4. The VCarb team, surprisingly, not in the top 4 in the Constructors' Championship, considering how strong their lineup is today. Obviously, Niall, we know, is a reserve. So VCarb have basically been blessed with a Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton like lineup. Not for the rivalries. Bless me, sorry. Not for the rivalries, but for the sheer and raw pace the pair of them provided throughout their time through 2013 and 2016. Don't say this often. You don't say this often. Clear skies in the United Kingdom at Silverstone. We have got clear skies for everyone. There doesn't seem to be any rain. Obviously, we're waiting for the green flag at the back. The teams are away in their garage. Godzilla and Star looking to get some decent points for Sauber in their fight for P2 in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari looking to catch up to Sauber in the Constructors, and Haas looking to make a comeback of all comebacks for P2 in this championship. Sauber also looking to maybe try and halt Red Bull's success. I think you could put it that way this season. Obviously, only Red Bull machines, put it that way. Only Red Bull machines have taken victory this season. Will we see our first non-Red Bull machined victory in this race this evening? Obviously, will a British driver win it? Will the British driver, a Star, who starts on the front row, win the British Grand Prix? Questions are all set to be answered here at Silverstone. 18 corners around this 5.8 kilometre circuit. We've got 153 kilometres of racing action here. The reigning champion Arrow looking to rise in what will be the closest race of what he could call a home Grand Prix. Cookie leads the way in the championship by 35 points ahead of Star. Star looking to start to engrove that. Well, I don't know what the word is. Start to dig in to that gap in the championship, looking to claw back that advantage Cookie had built up very, very well across this season so far. I want to actually see when we are starting, because I'm running out of lines to say. Green flag is at the big. The season break. The mid-season break's done. The 5 lights go on. It's all talk in the break. The 5 lights are out, and it's now bring the action on at Silverstone. Down towards turn number 1. Niseva's got the lead of the British Grand Prix, and then Star, the top 5 really, all keeping as they were. The Williams looking to contend as well. Down the inside goes the McLaren of Jack on the Ferrari of Himi Dime. There is a Sauber off in the back of Godzilla there. I don't know why the timing glitch might have actually bugged as well. But down the Wellington Straight we go, on board with Niall, making his way down towards Brooklands. He's going to dive down the inside of Star, and Star looking to hang it around the outside of Brooklands. It will switch to the inside for Luffield, the second and third wheel to wheel, and Cookie's looking to get involved in the action as well. On board with the championship leader, looking to make inroads into the podium places, as now down towards Copse Corner we go. On board with Arrow around the outside of Gordon, making our way towards Copse. Gordon bails out of it, and Arrow's up into the top 8 there. Godzilla, I was right, had dropped down to the back. Himi Dime as well has dropped down to the back as well from the top 5 position. The 2 Mercedes there swapping around as well. And then it is Ollie looking for a move on Kevin Cow. And then we're going to go down the Wellington straight and down towards Stowe Corner there. Let's get some information up. Let's go to this. And then let's go this. And then we'll go to position again. And then we'll go to this here. So down through the Vale and Club chicane for the first time in this British Grand Prix. Now we stand on the power, and into the pits comes Gordon. So is that damage for Gordon? Maybe it must have been, because he's now retired. And our first DNF for the British Grand Prix is already gone. As now we go through Village and then through the loop, and there is some change of position between Oven Chips and Ritzy. Is down deep goes Oven Chips, but now we're going to go to the race leader. Down the Wellington straight we go for the first time. And Star's gaining. He's gaining on Nisev. Does Nisev go to defenders, or will he make a launch to the inside? No, he won't. Star just decides to tuck up behind the rear of Nisev. And we go through Luffield now. There's yellow flags for Godzilla also in pit lane as well. So that was just Gordon retiring. Tori and Himmy Dime, as Himmy Dime goes by a ghosted McLaren there of Fori, as on pit exit, hitting the wall on pit exit there. Godzilla. So, how close are they getting as wide goes Star, and the V-Car to look to challenge into Baggers and Beckett's now. Niall looking to poise a pounce on the V-Car, on the Sauber there. The Sauber went wide through Cox Corner, probably a track limit warning already, as maybe a bit wide he went, ideally went there, as down the hangar straight we go on board. Where's the kick Sauber? He's gaining in the slipstream, but he's not gaining all that much then. What about the reigning champion? Can he get on with things? Making his way down towards Stowe. He is not looking to make a move. He's actually lost the place. So my bad, I thought he started at 9. As there goes Ritzy and Mallard. Ritzy doing very well considering his qualifying pace, as the Mallard's going to look to dive on the inside, but thinking better of it. And now the Haas of Oven Chips will maybe look to make a move. Maybe try an up and under through Vale and Club chicane, but then we get on the power on the exit through turn 18, and Oven Chips is not able to do so. Ritzy, however, has lost DRS to the top 10 there. And Ollie as well might have just lost DRS, but back to the lead as we go. They've kept it all nice and tidy as we go through the loop and then on through onto entry. So down the Wellington straight we go once more, and we're looking at the championship leader right now. Not in the top 3, but he's in the fight for the lead. So that is at least the minimum the championship leader would be expecting as he makes his way down towards Copse Corner. Well, everyone makes their way actually down towards Copse Corner. And Nisev looking for a 3rd win of the season after getting his first ever pole position. Nisev looking for win number 3 in his WHF career. Star is then looking for another win in his career. Had he actually won before? I haven't actually got him on my notes here. So I'm not actually sure about Star in WHF if he has won or not. However, Jack is starting to lose touch really to the rears. Ritzy gets his first 3-second time penalty for track limits. And there goes the Red Bull of Kevin Cowell being passed by former champion Ollie in the Silver Arrow now. After being a Ferrari for a couple of seasons, has now switched sides. He's done the reverse of Lewis Hamilton. It is safe to say then. Woman X also almost falling out of DRS there, as SSR Halo using a bit of his battery to try and pull away. And has he actually, I think he's actually might have broken that DRS there. Womax using the battery. He's got the brake and just gets that DRS back. So the top 4 have stayed as they are. Jack's gained 3 places. Great start for the McLaren, as well as the Alpine we're watching now. Womax has made 4 places here as we go down the Wellington straight and down towards Brooklands Corner. Lap 4:26 already at the British Grand Prix, and the top 4 are staying in formation. A bit spread out here. Obviously, the dirty air on this game makes overtaking a lot more harder considering the pace of the drivers. Obviously, you'd expect him, if it was F1 24, to be able to follow closer. Cookie, I see he's maybe losing a bit of touch there to the leaders there. 7 tenths back, 8 tenths back actually before Copse Corner. Now back down to 6.5 tenths, almost 7 tenths as he enters Maggots and Beckett's. But Niles looking racy, looking able to stay close up, as that was maybe a mistake by Jack there. And I think Jack's actually just lost DRS as I'm going to give up saying that name. The McLaren gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits as Arrow now pulls out from the slipstream and into the top 7, back up to where he started, as there goes Oven Chips. Oven Chips is off as Star made a as Star got past, Niall made the move. Owen Chips is out, and it's a double DNF for the Haas team there. A disaster start at the British Grand Prix. Who takes it? Who boxes? Ritzy is going to come into the box as well as Dino Iron Saver. So we've got 2 pit stops already. So we are second and third pit stop of the Grand Prix. As of course, Godzilla came into the pit lane earlier in the race. So I just missed that move by Niall, but he made it into Stoke Corner, probably the most famous overtaking spot at Silverstone Circuit. Obviously, I thought that Star had made a mistake because I saw someone had retired and I saw Star lost the place as the yellow flag came out, and Jack picks up a penalty for speeding in under the VSC. So, very quick VSC as he's on the soft tyres, is he there? And into the wall goes the McLaren. Jack got a drive through and finds himself taking the old pit lane entry and straight into the wall. Trying to call the safety car now, it seems. But Nisev has got a VSC restart of dreams there. 1.8 seconds clear of his teammate. And I'm actually going to go have a look at tyres here, as Jack has now retired and we've got another virtual safety car. Do you take it this time? Third DNF at Silverstone, 2 Hasses and 1 McLaren. In comes Niall. Niall into pit lane. Safety car windows are opening if you want to go to hard tyres to the end. So Niall gambles. A drive-through penalty for Ritzy for speeding under virtual safety car. Now I thought it was actually back to green flag condition there because my game's not saying VSC, but how long will that VSC stay out for? So Nisev leads from Star, then Cookie, then SSR Halo, WHF Arrow into the top 5 now, following Niall's box. When does that VSC opt to go then? So Nisev's got a 2-second lead, obviously it was around 1.8 before Niall had boxed. Obviously VSC means you drive around 40 to 60% off of natural speed. I'm not actually sure what the exact number is. Niall comes out in P12 there in a bit of clean air, but it's not going to be long till he catches the rest. But here we go once more at the British Grand Prix. Second time we've resumed from a virtual safety car, and we can make our way down towards Copse Corner here with your championship leader. Top 2 in the championship, the 2 contenders of the World Championship. Cookie seeming on dominating this championship so far. The world champion, well, the 2-time world champion, looking to make it free, looking to get a hat-trick of world championships, to be the first driver. He's the only driver to win 2 in WHF. Can he be the first to make it free? As he's gaining on Star, but opts just to sit in the rear wing of his championship rival. As there goes Cookie, making a mistake there through Stowe Corner, getting all tired. Star once again, it might have been Star making a mistake there through Stowe, going wide, catching the Red Bull off guard there as Himmy dive. He's done a bit of a resurgent drive there ahead of Mallard, and there goes Niall through on the McLaren. As wide actually went the McLaren, and off the track goes the McLaren, and into the pit lane goes the McLaren. So the McLaren didn't opt to benefit through the VSC, but Cookie's looking racing wide. Once again goes Star through Village, and then we go through the loop. And then on board is the Red Bull. We're going to go get rid of the HUD for a minute. Jamie Dwyer just picked up a 3-second time penalty. Cookie's using battery. Is Star using battery as well? We're going to go off board. Will Cookie go for the move on the inside of Brooklands? Yes, he does. Locking up that front left tyre. Bit of wheel banging between the rear right and the front left. But no harm is done. And it is Star down to third, and the championship leader up into the top 2 at this British Grand Prix. But will Star be able to come back at him towards Stowe Corner with DRS? Star seems to be struggling already as we making our way towards Magnus and Beckett's. Cookie starting to make a charge, maybe to try and catch up to Nisev. We know Cookie's race pace is phenomenal here. Not only at Silverstone, but just in general. Cookie has won 2 of the last 4 British Grand Prix as he makes his way down towards Stowe Corner. Star getting close enough, but doesn't get all that close enough as we go through Stowe Corner. And then we go towards the Vale and Club Chicane then with your championship protagonists. They're making their way through the final corner to start lap number 8 of the British Grand Prix. WomenX running in the top 6 still for the Alpine team, as Niall has just made that move in the Vale Club chicane, but actually I believe that's the Mercedes and Mallard diving into the pit lane. Going to struggle to make it to the end from there, as Niall has, as I say, that is an off for Dyno in the Alpine box. Only 2 laps to go. Copied Niall's strategy, but has found himself with a mistake through Chapel. As Niall looking to make a charge here, almost caught up to Himi Dime. It's going to be a long stint on those hard compounder tyres. 18 laps on those hards. If he is to make up to the game, we've got softer compounds now at Silverstone as we go through the Vale Club chicane. And Dyno Iron Saber is our 4th DNF of the British Grand Prix. Hasn't seen him much since he took the lead, since he kept the lead actually. Nisev, race leader after getting his first pole of the season. 2 wins to his name so far this season. Could he make it a 3rd and extend his gap from ahead of Arrow in the fight for P3 in the Drivers' Championship? Star still holding up well with his championship rival. Obviously 35 points between the two, as Niall and Himi Dime swap around, and Niall up into the top 9 there. I keep pressing the wrong button. We're going up to leader, so you lose 25 seconds in a pit stop, which my sources told me, and the gap between Niall and Nisev 16.6 seconds. So Nisev's going to have to make up at least an 8.5 second deficit when he comes into the pits, but he's going to be gaining all the time because those hard tyres are just going to keep getting faster and faster compared to the medium compounder tyres. So we'll get that back off the leader now. We'll go back to interval for the time being. We'll have a look at when it comes to pit window time, but Arrow has actually lost out almost to DRS to SSR Halo there. Obviously these two know each other somewhat very well, and now he makes his way down towards Copse Corner, and Nisev is being hunted here. He's being hunted by the championship leader, using a bit of his battery pack to make sure that Cookie can knock the DRS, riding over those sausage curbs through Beckett. And now we go through Chapel down the hangar straight. The fight for the lead on track is starting to spice up here, as we're going to go with Niall through Maggots and Beckett, and then we're going to go towards Chapel. Down the hangar straight we go, and this once again should be a slam dunk pass. Kevin Cowell, you can see 6% battery there as he pulls out to the outside, out at the toe, and into the top 6 goes Niall on a hunt for his first win this season. It won't be his maiden win, obviously he's won before, as into the box comes WHF Arrow on lap number 9. He boxes right. We started lap number 10, but this is lap number 10. That was lap number 9. He came into the pit lane. So Cookie is looking to take the lead of the British Grand Prix like he has done so much in the past. The American driver will look to roar on by ahead of Nisev. Could you expect this to see Nisev come into the pit lane on this lap? Michael Louise gets ahead of Arrow as well. Arrow looking to really come out ahead of WomenX there, and we're going to have to have a quick look at that, because that's going to be very close. And WomenX rounding outside at turn 1 does get ahead of the Ferrari, and the gap's going to be around 2 seconds. But back to your race leader, 4 tenths towards Copse Corner. Through Copse Corner we go now on lap number 10 of this British Grand Prix, and down towards Maggots and Beckett we go for the 10th time in this race. And all the while Niall will be gaining at every single corner, apart from straights, obviously, because of the DRS. Down the hangar straight we go. Could we see a change of lead in the British Grand Prix? He's gaining on Nisev. Cookie to the outside. Championship leader to the lead of the British Grand Prix. Or is he? Nisev's going to try and hang this around the outside. And down towards the Vale Club chicane we go. Nisev's going to keep fighting this. Through the Vale chicane we go. It's Nisev on the outside. On board with the V-Cub. Backs out of it. And Cookie takes the lead at Silverstone. The American driver into the lead at Silverstone, as into the pits comes Star and SSR Halo. Cookie takes the lead of the British Grand Prix, but Nisev's going to look to try and clout back as we go towards the village. And we go through towards village and then the loop, as look at that, Niall miles ahead of them all. That is going to be one hunt to love and watch to see, as there is Jamie Dwyer getting lapped for the first time in this race. He asked the question, how often will he get lapped this race, as we go down towards Brooklands Corner on board with Nisev, and he is not close enough to point a challenge. It's Woman X on the medium compound tyres. Hello. Bit of a strange one there, as Star comes out behind Michael Louise. So at the minute, I think it's actually going to be Niall P1, Michael Louise P2 at his home race there. And this is going to get pretty close on pit exit. Himmy Dime looking for a move on Kevin Cow. Arrow is right behind SSR Halo there as we go down towards Brooklands Corner. And I'm going to expect we're going to see this event in the box, because Cookie's pace in this latter stage of the stint is looking unbelievable right now. Already getting this Ev by a second. Where does the pole sitter go? Would he dive into the box? Will Cookie dive into the box? Yes, he will. So the undercut will not even be a question there. So round Stowe, you can see there that here now round Stowe comes Niall, the man who has got one pole this season at Bahrain. He's not got a win this season so far, but I think this is actually only his second race. Jumping over that fat sausage curve. Round to the final corner we go. And here to the lead of the British Grand Prix. A V-Carb once more leads the British Grand Prix. It's the other one. It's Niall, the Frenchman, who takes the lead at Silverstone. So this is going to be interesting. Where does Michael Louise filter out compared to Cookie and Nisev? Through farm curve and into village. Michael Louise into the top two, and Star is back with Nisev. So the pole sitter now under pressure, as Cookie's going to use all his battery here down the Wellington Straight. He's gaining on Michael Louise. Michael Louise has turned the battery off, and the championship leader has now got a gap to make. 12.3 seconds is the gap between Niall and Cookie. 6-lap tyre age difference. Who's going to take the win at Silverstone? Will it be Niall? Will it be Cookie? We saw them have blows at the Bahrain Grand Prix. But now look at Star bringing himself back into contention with Nisev. But if you're thinking this 6 laps ago, this would be in contention for the race lead. Now it's only a contention for P4, considering Michael Louise has got the same amount of tyres as Niall. Jamie Dwyer picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits there. The Aston Martin team and the McLaren team and are not having the greatest day. I think the team that's had the worst day here is the American team, Haas. 19th and 20th with a double DNF. So they will not be scoring any points, which I think is quite obvious here. I can't actually remember the points here. But one thing is for certain, Red Bull will be outscoring Kick Sauber at the British Grand Prix. As Cookie has already gained 1 second this lap of Star, so it's the fastest lap of the British Grand Prix. Look at that bump that you saw there, and this look at the bump he just went over. So before turn 1, before Abbey, a massive bump there before turn 1. So that could be costing him. That could be costing all the drivers a lot of time, as he's got his nose to the inside, but then as he has that wider line, it's going to now stick his nose to the inside through entry, and down the Wellington Straight we go. Will Star look to challenge as well, and this saves back into the podium places after starting on pole, but Star's going to have to stay tucked up behind him. But now could he make a move on the inside of Luffield or around the outside, set up a wider line, then get the cut back, get a bit of clean air on that front wing to get enough grip. As now down towards Copse Corner we go. Star is using his battery. We're going towards Copse. Star's going to stick his nose. He's going to go to alongside. We're wheel to wheel through Copse Corner. And Star has got the place on the inside of Copse Corner. Lovely move by the Sauber driver. Moving past the Williams driver. As there is the Aston Martin once again. Jamie Dwyer having another moment. And he's off in Magnus and Beckers. I think just letting everyone through. And it's just a contest now to see how many times he can get that. To the people still watching and to people who have just joined in, welcome. We're at the halfway mark for this British Grand Prix. As Nisev there is back with Cookie as well as Star. So we've got you've got 3 cars hunting down Niall at Silverstone here. Niall has absolutely blown away here, as there's the Aston Martin of Jamie Dwyer. I think just letting everyone through once again. I don't know what it is for a lack of pace, as there's the McLaren off at Luffield. Lap number 2, oh, yeah, oh my god. Lap number 14 of the British Grand Prix. William X has picked up a 3-second time penalty for track limits there, as Nisev has almost lost DRS to Star, but Nisev has got a bit more battery compared to them, but they're all going to be draining here. They need to actually work together somewhat. Don't waste yourself with battery, because you need battery to when you come up to the rear of your race leader Niall, who has got probably worrying about a puncture come the end of 26 laps here at Silverstone, as Star's now lost DRS to Nisev. So that battle's going to die down. So we're going to watch this fight for a bit here. Woman X, SSR Halo, and WHF Arrow. So they've got 3 cars by about 50 meters here, as they're now seeing the poor expert SSR Halo and Arrow turning on the battery, and they're both going to gain. It's going to be like a bit like Schumacher and Hakkinen at Spa, but it is now at Silverstone, and it's SSR Halo and Arrow, and running outside goes the Williams of SSR Halo on board with the Ferrari, just to tuck up in front of the Ferrari, and William X has conceded 2 places in a matter of 100 meters there. Really lost out as Nisev back in DRS with Cookie. But will Arrow maybe choose to pounce into Village, or maybe into Brooklands there? Got one thing for certain. We're going to have a fight for the race lead very, very soon here. Come the latter stages of the British Grand Prix. Down towards Brooklands we go, with Nisev obviously using everything to keep up with Cookie. The challenger leader Star fading away now. The 2 drivers who started on the front row together, now 3rd and 4th here at Silverstone. As down towards Brooklands we go. Those medium tyres are going to start to fade on Woman X's car on the Alpine. I don't really know what he was thinking. Putting on a set of the medium compound tyres. As look how close this is getting. Nisev was 3.5 tenths back as we went through Cops towards Magnussen Beckett as we go. The dirty air is going to affect him quite a lot. Probably going to drop around maybe 6 tenths back, and he chooses to take a wider line compared to Cookie, but then Cookie gets a much better drive on the exit of Chapel. As down the hangar straight we go. He's gaining once again, but he's not going to make the move. These two just trying to work together so they can catch up to Niall. Niall went for a gamble. At the minute it's working, but they've gained 5 seconds in. They've gained around 5 seconds over the 4 laps they've been on those tyres so far. So they've almost pulled away from Woman X. Woman X obviously maybe trying something different here to use those mediums to gain some more track position and go for Haas to make sure he can most definitely gain on them all later on. It's on board with the championship leader here. The Red Bull driver has got pace in whatever handling model you throw at him. He's got pace, and I think this is probably his most special circuit to highlight at Silverstone. From what I know, 3 poles, 2 wins in WHF at Silverstone, looking for win number 25 of his WHF career to get a quarter of the way there to a century mark. Down towards Cups Corner we go once again, on board with your pole sitter Nisev. Up 16 and 26 we go through Cups Corner, as there is Corey and Ritzy swapping around once again. As will Ritzy send it to the inside. He's actually got a puncture on his front left tyre, and he's continuing. That's something you don't see every day. A driver with a puncture continuing. Aston Martin, what are you doing? As into the pits comes Niall, and gets a 10-second for speeding in the pits. No. So Niall, maybe this was his strategy, to then go to the recommended window for a set of the mediums, but it's just become a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And there goes Himi Dime ahead of former champion Ollie. So Ferrari running 7th and 9th. And now this is the fight for the lead at Silverstone. Cookie v Nisev. Stars dropped out a bit, as then Niall actually onto another set of the hard compounded tyres. So he chose the harder allocation. Number 66 on the V car. Where does he filter out? He filters out P8, so he's got a lot of work to do. Then down towards Brooklands we go, and very similar battery levels as we go through Brooklands and towards Luffield. 10 laps to go at Silverstone. Cookie leads ahead of Nisev, and Star is just losing time hand over fist. You can tell it's hot in my room when my drink's even my drink is warm now. So through Maggots and Beckett for the 17th time at Silverstone. As now we get on the power, and there's the Aston Martin with a puncture, I believe. Yes, there is. So down towards Stoke Corner we go. Will the Aston Martin finally come into the pit lane? That's what I'm curious about. Please come into the pit lane. Nope. As there is SSR Halo and the two Williams drivers swapping around here. Maybe this is the maximum Williams are going to be able to get. So maybe Michael Lewis is just going to try and back up Arrow. No, he's not. He's going to come straight into pit lane. And will he do what Arrow did? No, very much more cautious on pit entries. WomenX as well dives into the pits as well. But this is battle for the lead at Silverstone. Keeping calm at the moment here. But as the race goes on, we'll desperate if Nisev starts lacking pace compared to Cookie once again. Will we start to see some desperation as he's gaining on Cookie in towards Brooklands lap 18 at 26, and there's no battle for the lead as of yet at Silverstone. But this is the closest battle so far. I think it's actually the only battle on the track at the moment. Through Woodcut down towards Cops Corner for the 18th time at this British Grand Prix. Cookie and Nisev actually taking a lot of that outside curve, more than you normally would if you would like to manage those front left tyres. Could be sin. I remember back to the 2020 British Grand Prix, you saw a lot of front left tyre failures, but more crucially Bottas and Hamilton, as there was a bit of a mistake there from Nisev, and there is yellow flags for the Aston Martin, still going with that puncture. But there towards Stoke Corner we go, and Nisev is starting to drop back a bit, 7.5 tenths as we go towards the Vale and Club chicane through Vale, and then we'll go around the final corner called Club, and it is just literally still this battle for the win at the British Grand Prix. The only two drivers within a second of each other at DRS. Jamie Dwyer is into the pits as well, whilst his teammate is still ongoing with a puncture. Not doing those aerodynamic parts any good here. As into the pit lane goes a Mercedes of Ollie, so former champion, as Nisev is starting to lose DRS there. Cookie, sorry, starting to get a bit of a push on here at Silver, so the championship leader looking in a perfect condition for victory, and Ollie with 7-8 laps to go has just put on a set of the soft tyres, and we saw Ritzy got a puncture after 7 laps. Going a risky game here, putting on the soft tyres, but Cookie has officially checked out. So we're going to look at this battle between Niall and Arrow. Niall actually into the top 5, so I don't really think it's going to be much of a battle, as we're just going to be focusing on Niall for it. He's already got that 10-second penalty, so he will be the fastest on track without a doubt, maybe Ollie. But as he makes his way towards Magnus and Beckett, now within DRS, as his yellow flag for the Aston Martin, although I can only guess is Jamie Dwyer once again, letting everyone through Magnus and Beckett to go, and then out on board with the Recarb driver and Michael SSR Halo, sorry, now just waves him on by, and Niall into the top 4, although he is holding a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Another battle really just going to die down for a bit as Arrow taking a strategy gamble here, very hot on the brakes, gets slowed down, and he's going for a gamble. He's going for an extra stop here. Is he going for the soft compound tyres? He's going for a late race charge. This is what you like with this game strategy. He goes into a set of the medium compound tyres, probably smart that is, but then Himmy Dime, after having a moment down P18 I believe earlier in the race, back up into the top 6 here at Silverstone. There's yellow flags for a McLaren. Once again, it is the same one at the same corner. As Michael Louise just gets ahead of Arrow, and WomenX as well just gets ahead of Arrow. It's basically the exact same thing after the first pit stop brigade. SSR Halo doing well for the moment to keep up with Niall here, but I don't think Niall's all that much interested about SSR Halo. He's just looking to push on, because there will be a matter of time before SSR Halo does lose out, as there's yellow flag. Is he still going on those punctured tyres? Yes. I'm very surprised that tyre's not shredded yet, considering how long he's been on the punctured tyre for at least 4 laps here, as Cookie's basically checked out this race now. 1.8 seconds does Cookie lead the British Grand Prix by, SSR Halo has finally lost out on DRS to Niall. It would have been interesting to see if Niall continued, to see how aggressive he would have got in trying to defend the race lead at Silverstone. But now, looking at WHF Arrow, only driver was a DRS of another car. Not much action being provided so far in the latter stages of the British Grand Prix. Just gaining so far on WarmX. As into the pit lane comes his teammate, Himmy Dime. Into the pit lane, it's F1 Mallard on those medium tyres. Gets a penalty for track limits here. We're actually going to change away from tyres and go to penalties. There is your penalties. 10 second for Niall, 3 second for WomanX, as there is Himmy Dime losing out in the pit lane, now behind his teammate as well. So, as I was saying, Niall 10 second, WomanX 3 second, Mallard on the 3 second, the McLaren on the 9 second, Ritzy on the 16 second, and Jamie Dwyer on a 6 second penalty. And Jack has finally left the session after DNFing in the early stages of the British Grand Prix. Actually decided to stay and watch for a bit, did the McLaren driver, so fairs to him. He probably had nothing better to do at this race weekend. Still just watching this battle for the top 8 positions, as there's yellow flags once again for the Aston Martin. Arrow, a 3 second time penalty for track limits. So now this is an even fight for on-road positions here. Go back to tyres for the time being. That race lead, that battle for race lead has basically just died out now, and I think we know who the winner of the British Grand Prix is going to be. Michael Louise running in the top 7. So decent strategy from him as Arrow's gaining on WomanX, pulls out to the inside and dives through and ahead of the Alpine driver at WHF Arrow, the reigning champion, into the top 8. The Irishman improving, but not improving to a race winning position, which he's only done on 2 occasions in his SSR and WHF career. So where do we want to look next? Actually, we'll just keep watching this for the time being, as there's yellow flags for the Aston Martin. Late race safety car still on the cards here if someone had a unlucky crash, as now we go through the loop and down towards Aintree, lap 22 of 26 here. Cookie making his way down towards the hangar straight. Actually, I thought that was Cookie at Brooklands, but no, that's Kevin Cow. So Arrow improving his PB by 600 at the minute. It's going through through Brooklands, as there is yellow flags again for a McLaren. McLaren is often in the gravel, and I don't actually know what he's doing. But back to this fight for a place in the top 7, and Arrow is very, very close to the rear of Michael Louise now, as we go towards Magnussen Beckett for the 23rd time with WHF Arrow on board with the Scuderia Ferrari, bit wider through Beckett, and then we'll go through Chapel, wide through Chapel, when Michael Louise down the hangar straight and down towards Stowe Corner we go with Michael Louise. Obviously not close enough to be put under any sort of pressure yet, but they're all gaining on Kevin Cow. Obviously Kevin Cow and Michael Louise we saw last season. Championship rivals in Tier 2. Obviously Kevin Cow came out on top by that by quite a while, I do believe. As the McLaren finally into the pit lane, we'll see our second double DNF of this race. Not actually too sure, as off the track goes Ritzy once again at turn number 1 was that punctured tyre. Arrow is getting all close to the rear of Michael Louise. Jamie Dwyer, 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's down the Wellington straight and down towards the Brooklands we go once again here at Silverstone. WHF Arrow looking to provide us some action, considering how spread out the field is. Very surprising as to how spread out the field is. Obviously Niall is probably not going to have the pace now. He might have the pace. We know he has the pace, but he probably won't be able to catch up to Star. I think he's just going to try and work and get that 10-second gap to SSR Halo, which I actually do think he will. 3 laps to go at Silverstone, as through Magnussen Beckett once again we go with on board on the Ferrari here, as there is yellow flags in second one again. That is for a slow moving Aston Martin again, as there is yellow flags again for another slow moving Aston Martin. Aston Martin, Don't even know what they're doing. This race down the inside. Slow corner. Arrow was looking for it. But now in the second phase of slow corner, he's going to get it. And they're going to go wheel to wheel down towards the Vale and Club chicane. He's going to look for the switchback. But then he's going to look for another switchback through the Vale and Club chicane. On board with the Ferrari driver now. As down towards Abbey and Farm Curve we go with the Ferrari driver. And he's just going to stay tucked up behind the Williams driver. As Ollie picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits here, as Arrow still looking to mount the pressure on Michael Louise. As now we stand on the power down towards Brooklands Corner. Jamie Joyce says, I'm here for my participation point. Very valid. I do not blame you in the slightest. WHF Arrow still looking to put the pressure on Michael Louise. Obviously only 2-lap difference in the tyre age here, as Niall has almost broken that gap of a 10-second gap between SSR Halo and himself. As down towards Cop Corner we go, and Cookie starting the penultimate lap of the British Grand Prix. But we've been focusing on this battle for a couple of laps now at Silverstone. We saw Arrow get ahead of Womamex, and now he's stuck in a bit of a stalemate really behind the rear of Michael Louise. But now this is probably his chance down the hangar straight. Michael Louise hasn't got a lot of battery to defend it. Will he defend it? He pulls out to the inside, and the Ferrari driver into the top 7. But is it a couple laps too late to be able to break that 3-second gap? SSR Halo is definitely going to finish 10 seconds behind Niall, considering Niall doesn't make any single more mistakes. Is down around the final corner. You look with your reigning champion through Abbey, we go with him now, and then we look to your championship leader and the man who has got 2 championships in his pocket in WHF, looking for a third, doing exactly what he needs to. Yellow flags for another Aston Martin. I'm just going to ignore yellow flags at this rate. So down towards Stoke Corner for the penultimate time in this race. Michael Louise, however, is actually keeping up with Arrow there. There is a Sauber going slowly. That is his teammate, Godzilla. Yellow flags once again. And part of the Sauber again. Nope, it's the Aston Martin again. So Arrow making his way through corner now under pressure. Lovely helicopter cam here as wide goes Michael Louise. Probably a track limit warning there. And the final lap of the British Grand Prix is underway here at Silverstone. But we're going to be watching this battle until at least Stoke Corner as Cookie makes his way through the loop and towards Aintree. Michael Louise is gaining. He's gaining on Arrow. They both haven't got a lot of battery. Michael Louise, is he close enough to make a challenge? Into Stoke Corner. Michael Louise goes for it on the inside. And Arrow will hang this around the outside. And Arrow will keep the place towards the Vale and Club chicane. But it's been plain sailing, really, since he got ahead in the Sev. Cookie got ahead in the Sev into the race lead, came into the pits and came out in P3. Got ahead of Michael Louise, and the championship leader will extend his advantage out front by a couple more points to eke out Red Bull's Constructor Championship lead and his Driver Championship lead. There's a couple cars all caught up there, and what has happened? What has happened here with, is that a puncture potentially for Kevin Cow? But nonetheless, his teammate, however, has been playing sailing out front. Keep a look at the left-hand side for a potential position change. But Cookie has controlled the race since he got the lead. The man, the king at Silverstone for the 3rd time in the last 5 British Grand Prix. It's 3 out of 5 at Silverstone. Cookie wins the British Grand Prix. Then comes Nisev for VCarb after getting his maiden pole. Gets P2. Star, the championship rival, takes P3. Niall will take P4. SSR Halo will come in 5th. But look at this battle as WH Arrow is now going to get some DRS and look to power on by ahead of Kevin Cow. Down the hangar straight we go. SSR Halo in 5th. Arrow's going to take 6th on the road. But it's going to be once the flag falls, once they cross the line, SSR Halo crosses the line, losing a heap of fists of time as round the final chicane we go with Arrow taking 6th place. But after this, it will be Kevin in Kevin in 6th, Michael Louise in 7th, Young Himi Dime in 8th, Arrow in 9th, Womex in 10th, Mallard. The two Silver Arrows will come home together as Ollie's gaining on his teammate, and the Mercedes maybe trying to get the fastest lap here. As will Ollie make a line to the inside, the Mercedes just trying to have a bit of fun here. As wide goes his teammate Mallard, and it's going to be Mercedes in 12th and 13th. 4 drivers got lapped: Codzilla, the McLaren, Ritzy, and Jamie Dwyer come across the line together. The mastermind, at least they finished together, as well as the 2 Silver Arrows. Ollie and Mallard over the line, and it's just going to be the McLaren to conclude the British Grand Prix. But Cookie wins the British Grand Prix. It's his 3rd win at Silverstone in the last 5 events we've had around here, and for the 2nd time in WHF history, a pole sitter does not take the victory at Silverstone. Onto the podium comes the American driver. We've got an American, a Norwegian, and Star gets a podium at his home race. The gold trophy is lifted proud for the Red Bull team, like 2023 when they took the British Grand Prix victory with the Flying Dutchman and Max Verstappen. This time, it's the Flying American, the I don't know what I'm saying, to be honest. The American driver takes the victory here at Silverstone, and the second half of the season is well and truly underway. Driver of the day, Michael Louise. The game says cleanest driver, Kevin Cow. I think we can all agree with that. So, race results then. Cookie wins the British Grand Prix heading to 7th, then Star, then Niall, then Halo, then Kevin Cow, Michael Louise, Young Himi Diamond 8th. It's not Ferrari 8th and 9th. Williams doing well for 5th and 7th. VCarb 2nd and 4th. I'm going to quickly get all the race results. Then your 4 DNFs, double has DNF. There's the DNF for Jack, and then the DNF for Dino Iron Saver. Jamie Dwyer in 16th, along the Aston Martin's got lapped 3 times. But I believe we're going to be doing some interviews now for the conclusion of the British Grand Prix. Hoping that everything works all fine. And let me just go down to WHF and let me change VC very, very quickly. So I need to hope that this works. I need to hope party audio works. Just waiting for confirmation to see if I'm going to be doing interviews or not. Ah, hello, I'm Hemi. Right, I need to hope that. Wait, speak quickly, please. Oh, brilliant. brilliant. It's not working. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, my bad. I mean, I'm hoping that my party audio works. Let me see if it works. Let me just like, I don't know how to make it work. I've been having an issue with it. Say something again, please. Yeah, it's just not working. Right, I guess there's no interviews. My bad. Right, I'm just gonna quickly move my mic in the VC. Thank you all for tuning in. I think we're actually gonna go and raid someone now. Who we raid though, I don't really know. And it should come up once Arrow has done that. So, just need to wait and see who we raid, of course. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in for the British Grand Prix round 7 in Tier 1 in WHF Season 5. Obviously, Cookie taking his 5th win of the season and his 25th win in WHF history. What's that? 25 wins in a single league. That's just pure domination, really. Phenomenal drive from everyone out there. Niall went for something different. But then next time out, next week, we will see you for Tier 2, racing around Suzuka, and then for Tier 1, racing around the Belgian Grand Prix. My name's been Rio Harris. You've tuned in for WHF Silverstone, and I'll see you all for the next one. Ciao. As we wait to see who we're rating.